Hello, everyone. Welcome, one, welcome all to this. It's the UBPorts Community Update number 17, recorded in front of a live, captive YouTube audience on November 25th, 2017. Joining me today are Jan.
Hello.
And Marius.
Hey!
And I'm Dalton, but no one cares about that.
I do.
Aw, thanks. So, we've got a big roundup of community news and a ton of questions today. And we've got a brand new show notes format that hopefully will lead us through this better, even though the last ones haven't been bad. So everybody ready? Everybody hyped? Hyped? Ugh, English is hard.
Totally.
I'm hyped. Yay!
I'm hyped. All right. I'm just going to forward this to the super... Oh, you already did. Never mind.
One step before you.
One step ahead. Let's forward it to the regular group as well, though, not just the super group.
Let's
There
do
we
that.
go.
Okay. Shall we start with some news?
That's how we always do it.
Okay. We have some exciting news. And first of all, it's the most exciting of all, I think. Patreon has reached $250 per month. It's even over that. It's $2,711. It's amazing. You guys are awesome.
From 219 Patreons now, so that's pretty cool. So thanks everyone.
You guys are truly amazing. It's just so amazing to see this community grow. We are now our 1,000 members in our Telegram group, which is absolutely insane. And also, the stat survey is also showing that we have rough estimate, we have around 10,000 active devices, not active, but 10,000 devices that actually tried UBPorts. But keep in mind, these stats are completely. There's no way of making this any
They are
accurate.
completely
It's
made
just
up,
an estimate. What?
but we believe them.
Say that. We like to believe them because it's so amazing high, but keep in mind it might be completely off because we have no way of actually knowing.
Because we don't track devices, it's really, really hard to track how many devices we have.
Yeah.
So this is from our download numbers, but
Mm.
unlike other distros where the download numbers are a lot more high than the actual devices, the download numbers for us only go up when the new device is installed. But still, there might be a lot of duplicates in there, and we can't know for sure. But this is at least the assumption we are operating on.
Yeah. Yeah, we also have combined it with actually server requests and actually website analytics. So we have a base understanding on how much devices there is, and we believe that this is fairly accurate. But as we said, there's no way for us to be sure because we don't do any tracking whatsoever.
Okay, now we're just trying to defend and then promptly break down our stats. This is boring. Let's go into something else. Patreon, right. You guys are making this all possible for us, all 221 of you. I need to check to make sure it hasn't updated again.
Yes. 219.
219.
219, yes.
Yes, all right. So, once again, we're going to say this a lot today. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
And also to our sponsors. We're starting this off with sponsor spots, but that's okay. Kind of.
Yeah.
So we've got DigitalOcean supporting us. We've got Marius. Who else do we got?
We got private internet access and our biggest and greatest, which is Moose, which is also truly amazing. All of you are truly amazing to help this make possible. Without you guys and without Patreon and without people donating in general, you guys wouldn't make this possible because this is a huge project and it's amazing to see it grow. And with this, it helps us a lot to actually to make the goal, our goal, and everyone's goal possible.
Okay. We did it. Now, we've got project news too. So don't... Sorry, everyone just coming in. We're not just trying to make this about money today. We have in our... So we mentioned before that we have 1,000 members in our Telegram supergroup. That makes a lot of noise sometimes, because there's a lot of people who all want to talk at once. If you've been in a large IRC channel, you know what that... like the Ubuntu one itself. So with that, we've created more focused language groups for people who maybe aren't super fluent in English, me included sometimes, but I can't speak another language, so that's no good for me. So they're actually listed on our homepage right now, all of the language groups. But also, if you want to just join our super group, or that which is at UBPorts, or you can also join #UBPorts on Freenode, and we can get you directed to the right place there if you like. And with that, our IRC channel is bridged to our Telegram group again. We just got that working again today. Thanks, Marius.
You're welcome.
Jan,
did I hear you wanted to say something?
No, just about the language groups. There are groups for the most important. No, you can't say that.
Wow.
For the languages for which there's high demand. If you know multiple people, I'm sorry, guys. Okay, if you know multiple people within the community who speak one language, and you're one of them, preferably, and there's no group for you, then we can of course create that. But we didn't just go ahead and create a group for all the languages there, because there would probably just be one person in there feeling alone. So I think for some languages we have also like combined it. For example, in Scandinavia, that was a Marius decision.
Yeah, that's also a decision, because if there was a Norway group, I would probably be alone there. And if there was a Denmark group, it would be the same. But if you combine with Sweden, and since Sweden, Norway, and Denmark are such good friends as we are, and we understand each other clearly, it makes sense. Why not? Stop laughing.
Okay, so we have groups for Portuguese, Spanish, Italian, Chinese, Turkish, German, Esperanto, French, Russian, India, just like all of them, apparently. Romania, Netherlands, Dutch, and Catalan. And I think there are a couple more that haven't been added to this list yet. So if you speak a language, and like Jan said, you would like to have a group, you do need to agree that you'll follow the Ubuntu community code of conduct. What's it called? Is that it?
Yeah.
Code of conduct, yep.
And all of that before, and then we'll just have a group.
And also,
and thank you to... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
And thank you to everyone who has come forward to moderate or create these groups for us, because you're making everything better for the people around you.
Definitely.
Okay, Marius,
okay.
Go ahead.
Let's move on to something people actually care about. And that's OTA3.
What's up with you today, Jan? You're just butchering languages and everything.
That's OTA3. It's still happening. It will come soon. Still, I know we have been saying this for 3 Q&As now, but we had some stuff we wanted to get in there. For example, the camera module of the camera module upgrade of the Fairphone 2, which took a lot more work than we thought, and I think it has been fixed.
It has been
yesterday or the day before yesterday or something.
Yep.
But it hasn't it hasn't yet been completely confirmed, so we don't know if it broke another component. So that's always a lot of work on quality assurance there. So we can't give you guys a definite release date. We would have liked to release it earlier, but we can't make a definitive promise there yet. So sorry if you're still waiting for it. In the meantime, you can of course try the latest RC or Devil images. You all know how to switch in the system settings. But we can't give you a definitive release date yet. But it's still going to happen, and it will come some of these days. I promise.
Thanks for your promises, Jan.
I'm always there.
He's always there for us.
And also, we can't stress enough to say that the reason why this release is, first of all, so short and delayed is because of our big senior jump, which will happen pretty soon. And that's also why this release is so smart. Smart. I can't speak anymore. Jesus Christ. That's why it is so small and not that many changes are in there, as OTA 2 has had a lot more. But I think when Senior actually comes out, I think that's a bigger benefit for everyone.
Yeah, there were multiple things that hold us back a little with OTA 3 now. For example, I think we talked about it in the past. Canonical disabled building the Vivid, so 1504 repositories on Launchpad. So that cost us a couple of weeks just to get all the infrastructure back up running, because we could no longer use the PPA systems for that. And we had to all move it to our own infrastructure. So that was a lot of work. Yeah, then we had multiple other things that just needed attention, and it always takes time a lot away from OTA 3. So to make it clear, OTA 3 is still on the 1504 base, but we will try to, we are still working on 1604. Some of it has been in parallel, of course, multiple people are working on it. So parallel progress can happen there, but yes, this is the reason for the delay, and it will come soon. It's close to completion, at least.
Okay, thank you, Jan. And thank you, everyone, for your patience as we do get these updates out. So if you'd like to help us, we do have a list of bugs on our bug tracker, and I'm going to throw those in the show notes right now. Next topic?
Yep. Let's just talk about the bug tracker a little bit more. There's also some issues labeled help wanted. They usually include at least the hints on how to get started, and also, which is a new GitHub feature, there's some issues labeled good first issue. So if you're new to the project and you want to get started with development, that's what you have to look out for. So those are issues that very easy to fix, very straightforward. But we try at least to reserve them, because they are not super critical. We try to reserve them for new contributors. So if you want to get started with development, that's probably a good place to start.
Right. I do remember one that will have a big impact if you're looking to get into Oxide, or as Marius likes to call it, Oxidy. Has that been fixed yet? The Google Plus?
The Google Plus
stuff?
No, it hasn't fixed.
Okay. So there is a list in Oxide of websites that when you go to them, it will change its user agent so that it stops getting blocked by people like Google Plus. And right now Google Plus blocked it again. So
but that's not in Oxide though. That's in the web browser app.
Right, that's in the web browser app.
UI overrides.js.
So if you want to investigate into that a little bit, and throw in Google Plus and the other Google apps that aren't working anymore, the bug is in GitHub. Should I put that in the show notes as well?
Sure.
Do it.
Okay.
Should we go to the next one, which is a question?
Yes,
This-
I can start
this-
with questions.
Okay.
Pause this here. Okay,
Well-
there we go.
Okay. Take it away.
I don't know anymore.
Go. Come on.
Okay.
Go.
I'll go for it. So, this question wasn't asked on our forum or in the YouTube live chat, but it is a very important one that we've been getting a lot lately, especially in our Telegram group, is why hasn't anyone made a WhatsApp app yet? So WhatsApp, we know it's super popular, especially around Asian, possibly Indian countries. And we have, no, just Asian. I'm sorry.
It's super popular in Europe as well. I don't know.
Not Norway though.
In the EU, let's go with that.
Okay. Okay.
Good.
In Germany, it's super popular in Germany.
Okay. And people are wondering why no one has made an Ubuntu Touch app for this. So before we had Loki IM, which was ported from from Mozilla, the Firefox OS, to Ubuntu Touch, and that worked for a little while. But then WhatsApp changed their API. And this has been the story for a long time. But also, I have a few articles here in the show notes that we're going to post. The first and second are from BGR. First, WhatsApp bans users of third-party clients, including WhatsApp Plus. And then, WhatsApp Plus confirms receiving a cease and desist letter. So, unofficial apps aren't very welcome by WhatsApp. Like, at all. So, even if someone did want to make an app for us, it's very possible that they'd just be taken down as soon as it was good enough for everyday use. So, of course, people can do whatever they want with code, but WhatsApp has the final say in whether or not you can have your app on our platform. So,
And I think the last thing the Ubuntu community needs right now is cease and desist from WhatsApp.
right, that's really disheartening to everyone. But
Yeah.
if I know that there was work on a client for the web app, I don't know where that went. It still required an Android app.
To get registered.
But maybe
right?
that one's met a similar end. I don't know.
Right.
So that's WhatsApp.
At this point, I think it's either I don't expect WhatsApp to develop an app anytime soon, but it's always, I don't know if it will help, but maybe make some noise in the WhatsApp if they have forum or something. I don't know. That might work because they have created a Windows app, believe it or not. So it might be they even have BlackBerry and everything. So it might be that maybe they will allow someone from the community to create it. That might also be an option. Or you can try to convince the people that actually use it to move to Telegram, for example, which is also, I know it's not the easiest thing, but it is an option.
Exactly. So we have we don't want to spend our own time on creating a new client because we will probably be taken down. Of course, we would not remove something like that from the open store if it were to be created like a third-party WhatsApp client, but we don't see the chances for that to happen very good. Yeah, I think your best bet is to move people to Telegram because it's pretty much a drop-in replacement for WhatsApp at the moment, or to Matrix if they are a little more technical. For now, at least. Maybe one day if we get Android app support, then this will all be easier. But for now, Telegram is your best bet. Or bitching to WhatsApp. So if you just say, hey, I can't use the app anymore because I'm unable to touch. If everybody does that, then they would probably
maybe
see
they
it.
would listen. So
Yeah.
okay, that's WhatsApp. That is our answer on WhatsApp, and so now we have somewhere to point people to when they ask, because we do get that question quite often. You know, in a similar vein, we have, why is there no Signal app? It's kind of a similar reason, except I see Signal's wish is a little bit better. So you might have all heard of a client called LiberaSignal a while back, and it was Signal without any of the Google Play services when the Signal app still required it. One of the staff members at Open Whisper Systems went onto their bug tracker and said, I'm not okay with LiberaSignal using our servers, and I'm not okay with LiberaSignal using the name Signal. So we still have the Text Secure app, I believe, in the Ubuntu store, but it takes a bit of hacking to get to work. And trying to update that, I believe Flo got in contact with Signal before. I don't know how public that conversation is supposed to be, though.
And also, I see there is a similarity with WhatsApp here, but I think Signal would be a lot easier to get on our platform because both us and Signal have similar intention in mind, which is privacy. So have Signal on our mobile phones do make a lot of sense. So in that area, I do also the same goes there. If we ask Signal, maybe there is someone from the community that can be allowed to make an app for it, or they make an official app themselves. But that being said, it also the same goes with Signal. Also, if you can't do that, there's always the option to ask the people to use a different application. But I know that might be hard with Signal because Signal is quite special in the way it does, how it is a lot more secure than let's say Telegram is.
Right, and all the perfect forward security and all that. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Oh,
speaking about someone, he come in the right moment to speak about Signal.
Attack!
We can't hear you, Flo.
Let's try again.
There we go.
Hello, everyone. I'm coming in the right moment. Why?
Because we were just talking about Signal, the Signal application, and why there's no Signal application on Ubuntu Touch.
Okay, yes, I can answer this. I mean, I can answer this as good as you can, probably.
Right.
So
we've answered it for the most part. I just said that you might have had contact with them.
Yeah, it's a long time ago. Maybe we should try again. The basic idea of Signal seems to be that they want to provide these extra bits of security. So they want to review the code at least themselves, even maybe write them themselves. And so they understood my question when I said, is there a chance that we bring a Signal application to Ubuntu Touch? They said more or less, it's maybe possible, but we don't have time for it. They didn't even ask if we would code it ourselves or implement ourselves. And then I tried to say, okay, maybe we do the implementation, but then you can review it. And if you review it, you can be sure that it's not breaking your cryptography. But they are not so keen on going this way either. However, we can try to ask them again. So basically, we are open to this approach if it would help to bring the Signal application to Ubuntu Touch. But currently, from Signal, there is not so much, let's say, a welcoming response. Yeah, I can try once more because now we have gained a lot more users. We have gained a little bit more traction. We are more visible on the internet at all. Maybe they could understand that we are really serious about it, and they could be as well serious with us. Yeah? Let's try. But so far, yeah, that's all what I can say about the contact to Signal. It was not very fruitful.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And even now, we're getting people in our live chat saying, yeah, I use WhatsApp, I use Signal, and yeah, we know. I used Signal for a little while. I thought it was really great, but That's
Basically, I think it's the basic function in cryptography is great. It's just that not so open to third parties. And I must say, from my perspective that I got from working on the Telegram application, I can understand why a provider wants to keep it as closed application, because Telegram more or less opened the API. You can make third-party applications, but then they cannot enforce things like, for example, the self-destructing messages that you have on Telegram. They are not working on Ubuntu Touch because nobody implemented this. So you're requesting your peer that this message should be self-destructed after 10 seconds. If he uses Ubuntu Touch, it won't because it's not implemented. And the peer doesn't even know that. So that's really something. And they're now writing on their guidelines in the future, all the clients that implementing secret chats, they have to follow the basic functions, and they need to be compatible or compliant with it. But they can absolutely do nothing against if a client is not compliant with their security model. So this is a bit of a disadvantage for the Telegram guys when they are open. However, Signal is a little bit too extreme to the other direction, that they don't even want to talk about the possible implementation. And in fact, I think it could be done without much work because it's not so dramatically complicated code. But okay.
That's both the problem and the advantage of open source. I mean, you can do security by obscurity, which you shouldn't do. Of course, it's ridiculous if you send them a message and you expect it to self-destruct, and it only self-destructs if the client says, "Okay, yeah, I want this to self-destruct." So probably in the long term, a completely open system like Matrix is your best bet either way. But for now, of course, it's not user-friendly enough for everybody to use.
Yeah, and also going to the point of Matrix, we also there has been some work against that, and I also want to do a lot more work on that, since I do believe that's a far superior system than, for example, WhatsApp, which is completely closed source again. So can
Does everyone else hear that?
What?
Aliens, they're coming.
Really, I don't hear nothing here. In Austria, there are no aliens.
Okay, I will continue. But
I think we've covered that one. Oh, nope.
Yeah,
I
would just say that the work on Matrix will also happen more after OTA 3 when I have more time. I have been working on it in my free time, which is weird for me to say, but I'm using my free time now to actually do OTA 3 work to get that done. So that's why I haven't really done that much more in the Matrix side of things. But when I get more time, I will continue on that bandwagon.
Okay, we have successfully spent a large amount of time on questions that weren't even asked this week. Good job, us. So let's move on to some questions that came in from the forum, shall we?
Okay.
Okay. Up first, we have... So some of these are, really technical. Some of them are really not. We're just going to run through them, and they all get put in the show notes. So the first one, can we use an SD card as merged or adoptable storage? The person who asked it said that they have this Asus Zenfone. What is that sound?
Sound like taking over by aliens right now.
Flo, can you mute for a moment?
I'm actually muted on my headphone. I know what it is. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Now it's gone. Okay.
Yep. So it's some noise from your sound card, I guess. He has the Zenfone or something, and it supports, you put in an SD card and an Android, it comes up, hey, would you like this to be part of your storage? And then it encrypts the SD card, mounts it on itself.
But we don't have that.
But
we don't have that.
We don't have that. So it's possible that you could hack something with a merge FS or an overlay FS, The problem for us is that all of the core devices have either a 3.4 or 3.10 kernel, and that's probably not going to support the technology.
Do any of our devices actually have SD card support? The OnePlus doesn't, and I don't think the
It's not
The
it's not
Fairphone does.
SD card FS. It's either X4 or F2 FS, but it's a feature of Android's volume manager, Valdi, the volume daemon.
Yeah.
So we don't have that. No.
So in the end of the question, it is possible with a lot of work, but we don't have the future right now. Not a lot of work, because we really don't know if the kernel supports it or not right now. It might actually do it without any work if we are lucky, but we might not be lucky.
Nobody
Can
looked
actually-
into it, so no way
Yeah.
of knowing.
Right. And we'd always appreciate someone trying to work on it. Let us know how it works. Blog about it. We will link to your blog.
And also, if you get something user-friendly and something that works really nice, please make a PR. That will also be awesome. Pull request, that is.
Bjorn, can we bind it using mount-b? Maybe.
Try.
Maybe.
Try
Try.
it. Yeah, of course. Try it. We'll see what happens. If everything blows up, then no, we can't.
Yeah, this is also a bit of the gray area of Ubuntu Touch, because we are using a such old kernel, and that's why we don't really know these stuff that is supposed to work as that they are expected to work on a Linux desktop, but they might not work on Ubuntu Touch because the Android Defi kernel is super old. It's like device that comes out this year will always be like 2 years old kernel, and it's insane.
Okay, so we've covered that one. We are currently being spammed by the Turkish forum. Hi, guys.
Hello. Hi from Norway.
Oh, yeah. Live chat is great. Okay, next question from the forum. Is that really your LiberaPay account?
What?
Yep. The LiberaPay account.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So we had a post on our forum after we asked about LiberaPay. Someone posted saying why we should do it. So we did it. LiberaPay.com/UBPorts is indeed our LiberaPay account. Currently, the only member is Marius. Is that all verified and ready to go?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. We are good.
We already have €1 per month by one Patreon, actually.
Week. One per week.
Oh, week. Oh,
Yeah.
look how up to date I am.
So yes, again, LiberaPay.com. That is our LiberaPay account. It is official. We made it. Marius made it.
Yay, I made it.
You did it. Woo!
I did it. Yay.
Moving on. Next question from the forum. Are there plans to make a pre-built app development kit, kind of like the Ubuntu SDK and the Ubuntu kit, UI kit? That's an Apple thing. For Qt 5.9 and Ubuntu Touch. We have... I'll let you talk.
Yeah, there is some ideas there, and also in some work to make it work with Qt Quick 2, which means that you don't really need that application kit anymore, because you can use vanilla that comes with your operating system, which is the same in your Qt Creator. That's the plan for it. But for now, you can actually use, which is the interesting part, you can actually use the existing SDK for Vivid, and you can actually build application there, and they will work perfectly fine on Xenial. So every application that we have now will also work perfectly fine on Xenial, because there's no ABI changes right now, because we still uses the Vivid SDK on the Xenial that will come. Go ahead.
That was only part of the question, though. I think the question was more in the direction of providing an installable SDK IDE, like the old Ubuntu SDK IDE. I don't think there are plans at the moment, or not. At least no plans that are close to completion. I think some people looked into it, but for now, working with what's there so far is easier. That is building it in an Ubuntu 16.04 LXD container that itself opens up an Ubuntu LXD container, and inside that you build the it sounds stupid, but it is stupid, but it works. And it gives us more free time to work on more important stuff at the moment. So what I'm saying is there's no imminent plans.
Is it clickable you are talking about?
Yes.
You don't need to run that in an LXD container, by the way. You can run that on native Ubuntu system. Just say.
It depends. Yeah, if you have an Ubuntu system, it also works in 17.10. For example, you can just run clickable as it is, and then in there you can open an LXD container in. So clickable does that for you, but clickable then creates the 15.04 LXD container. But if you are on some other distro that's not Debian based, for example, then you might have to create an Ubuntu LXD first and run it in there.
Yeah, but I think also this also is something we can also ask the community if they want to help out to this. You can, for example, send a PR request to Clickable to make it work on Arch, for example, native, or even if someone wants to step forward and actually maintain the whole IDE, for example. That's also thing that we are fully open for and really looking to, because the IDE still is an awesome piece of code, but it's huge and it's a lot to maintain.
And it's
not very, very easy to work on. So we had people come to us in the past and say, "Hey, I want to support the SDK," and then we said, "Hey, that's great. Have you tried building it?" And then we didn't hear anything.
It's not an easy piece of code. It's huge.
Yeah,
I think it was a fork of Qt Creator to begin with, so Qt Creator is big.
I think the plan was to make it into a plugin, and I still think it is a plugin, but it has some changes that it actually made to the main one, which means that you need to recompile the whole stack, I believe. So I have rarely touched on the topic myself, so keep my words with a grain of salt.
Yeah. So what you would be taking over is a work in progress thing, and as I said, our first priority is fixing problems in the operating system. Of course, we want app development to get easier, but there are also projects that we would prefer to wait for. Like Marius explained, the Zero theming for Qt quick controls will make it a lot easier. And after that, we can probably look into a solution for people who want an SDK.
And that would make it easier in the first place. And yeah, let's get that out the door first, huh?
Yeah. The big advantage with Qt Quick, for you guys that don't know what it is that it's fast and normal. And also normal application that works on native desktop would just work. Well, I say just work, but they need to be recompiled to ARM, but it should just work. You don't need to remake it on the Ubuntu stack.
Yeah, and it's what everybody uses, so it's not our own thing. So we're part of the bigger ecosystem, not.
Okay, I think this horse is beaten enough.
Yes.
Hopefully that answers your question.
You just got a Telegram message here, so don't mind my irrations.
We that one actually runs into a different question pretty well. Are we switching? Actually, it did before, but then we moved on a bunch. Are we switching to Unit or Unity 8 in 1604? So right now, 1604 is running the same code as 1504, with just a few changes to make it actually work. Spinner, calm down. So right now we're still Unity 8, and of course, once we have 1604 working, we'll kind of work to fast forward, move forward in Unity and Mir versions, because this is still Mir 0.26, and 2.8 was released not long ago.
So the whole point of Project Sudoku is to get 1604 with all the components, all the higher up the stack components that are currently running in 1504. Because Canonical made a lot of changes, but some of them, or many of them, were experimental. So the version of Unity 8 that runs in Ubuntu Touch at the moment, or in 1504 Ubuntu Touch, is not the latest one. And we wanted to take one big step at a time and not 10 big steps with the switch to 1604. So after that, we'll have to see if the question was more about naming.
That's undecided.
That's undecided, yeah, exactly. So we're collaborating with Unit from time to time. We talk to them, but we are separate projects. And Unity 8 is not in every part equal to Unit.
Yeah, to explain what unit is running the latest, while we are, just to take it an easier step here, Unit is running the latest, which has a lot of changes and also some stuff that actually breaks phone, because Canonical didn't put that much tension into to the phone at that moment. So that's why there's
Right.
a lot of breakage and a lot of things that needs to be fixed.
Yeah, near the end,
So
it was all about let's get Unity 8 into Ubuntu.
Yeah,
no matter where it is. So we can coulda, shoulda, woulda about that all day, but that's what happened, and we're sticking to it.
Yep.
Okay. With that, there was one more question from the same person. I think, maybe. I might be wrong. Nope. The next one. I'm confused. Anyway, what do you guys think of moving the application's action bar from the top to the bottom? Or at least having a global setting for that? So what he means, if I can open up an app that has one. Oh, great. This app doesn't have one. Oh, yes, it does. For example, come on, focus. Okay. This bar at the top. Shoot. The bar at the top with the back button on it. Will we consider moving that? I say it's the decision of the app developer whether or not to allow that. But what do you think?
Yeah, I think the app developer can, on that point, he can make it how he wants and how he feels like is the most user friendly. But the same also I think could go for our settings app and those components. There might be in the later stages. Right now, there's no plans or anything for it, even talk about it, since it's mostly purely aesthetic. But it might actually make sense, since when you're holding the phone, it's easier to press down here than going all the way up here on a big phone, for example.
Mm-hmm. And it's actually a problem that iOS has. So in iOS, when you create what's called a navigation stack and you go from screen to screen to screen, the back button is always up at the top, in the top left. So I guess it works for Apple.
Well, with Qt, you can place it how you want, really. So it's up to you.
And of course, if you put it at the bottom, then it'll get in the way of the upward swipe that you're supposed to do and all that.
That also, yeah.
Okay, I think that's that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next, I built apps that run on Unit on the desktop. Will that translate to Ubuntu Touch 1604? try it, please.
Yeah. First of all, you need to recompile it to ARM. That's the biggest one because we are using a different architecture. But it should work because the SDK isn't that different. And if you're using pure QML, I think it should be just fine. Might be some ABI changes with no, actually, if you compile it with the 16 R headers, or C++ headers, that should work. It might give you an error if something is wrong there, but I do expect that to work because, as I said, there isn't much change between them. But this will also hopefully totally be fixed if we move to Qt Quick too. Then you can even use KD apps, which is the amazing thing that we want to create.
Okay.
Also,
that
you have
came
to
in from
repackage
Devin.
them.
Oh,
So
sorry.
you have to
To ARM.
repackage them
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep, as clicks.
to click.
Yeah, and also ARM if they are AMD64.
And then the same question, the unit question, and then that question, and then this next one all came from Democrat. He's been around and he loves hacking on the platform. So thanks for doing that because we really like to see what it can do too.
Yeah.
The next one, is there a decision on a new packaging format? No.
No, not yet. I think clicks actually do work quite well for us. So for us to, since there's no need to hurry up to change it. We have other stuff to focus on at this point. So we don't have the hurry to do it. Of course, we would love to support Snap, for example, but I don't think that will be default anytime soon.
So as you probably know, there are kernel patches required to run snaps. And we already said most Android phones come with pretty old Linux kernels and don't have those patches. And we can provide them for all our devices. So for now, or at least the first release of Ubuntu Touch 16.04 will be just with Florian just messaged me that I'm slowly sliding out of the picture. I'm sorry. Is this better now? No. So the first release will definitely still just be clicks, and then we can experiment with bringing snaps in as an alternative, or at some point even a complete replacement. But we said one step at a time.
Yep, and we've talked a lot about the clicks and snaps things in previous community updates. You can check those out on our blog at UBPorts.com. It's click on, don't want to lead people wrong. Under latest news and community update episodes, we've got all of them there. Okay. The last one. Last question that I have. There's one in YouTube live chat that I'd kind of like to get to, but this is from the forum, and we tell them that they get their questions in. So, will the new notification service be ready before Canonical shuts theirs down? And two from Telegram.
Ooh,
No.
Go, Florian.
Okay, let me say one thing. This is my proposal for the moment. I don't know if it will work out, but to catch the point before they switch off, I talked already with the Canonical guys and we talked with the Telegram guys as well. We could take over the old system as it is and provide these servers for a longer time until we have a replacement in place, which would make sense, which will extend a little bit the, let's say, problems of the old system, but at least we would have the current state captured. If this is so easy or not, we don't know. Basically, we can provide a server for the infrastructure, of course. This is not a problem. The notification service itself is as a template, open sourced, but it's not exactly the same thing that Canonical runs, so we can try to switch it on. Switch a few phones over to this service and try what happens. If we find out it doesn't happen, then anyway we have to come up with a solution. But that's, I think, something that's possible until end of year. Yeah? And the Canonical guys told me, actually, just that you know a little bit of a background, they designed the notification system for a few 100,000 users. So they're running server infrastructure of probably more than one server, and it's completely idle at the moment. And they keep it running for, they say they have approximately 1 message per second, which is really not much. So they would be glad to switch it off yesterday, but the promise was to keep it open until end of year. So we should really try to, let's say, not ask them to extend it more, because they won't, but instead of this react and say, okay, we pull it over on our server. And with this low frequency, even if we have, let's say, 2,000 messages per second, this is still handleable by any of our cloud services that we have. We would take the pressure out of it and can then start over in parallel to do something new. Yeah, that's my idea. But as I said, it's no promises, nothing that's decided, because we don't know if the code that we have really works. But at least we have something.
This is probably also something that is underappreciated. So Canonical got a lot of flack after they discontinued Ubuntu Touch, and of course we were all sad about this. But we should not forget to remember. We should remember that they put a lot of work into the system to make it as I'm sorry, to make it as stable as it is today. And they the vital infrastructure, so the really important bits, they kept open until now, and that's a pretty cool thing.
Right. So just as much as we thanked all of our sponsors in the beginning, thanks Canonical.
Yeah. Not only for the servers, but for the whole operating system as it is now.
The whole thing. I mean, there's a lot that we inherited in this.
Yeah.
Definitely.
A lot of hours went into this, so we're standing on giants. And even though they aren't currently maintaining it, they made a lot of it easier for us.
Yeah. And also to add to the notification servers, I do have an example code and a specification that I hacked together somewhat. The code is still a bit iffy, but the specification is should be, in my opinion, good. But that's why I want some input from other people to actually read through it and give some ideas, and also point out where I'm wrong, even though I'm never wrong, so I can't do that.
Right.
Right. But yeah, at least that one also is a plan for making a developer friendly notification system, where a developer can create their own notification system.
And we're going to have a link to that in our show notes right underneath this question.
Yep.
Okay, there are a couple more. One is in both Telegram and live chat, so I'm going to go over that now. Oh, sorry.
I have a question that I got PM'd, which is why we don't have a mind test application. You all might know, Dalton, do know who this is from. This is from Chloe. And to this, I can say there has been work on it, but the problem with it was that it didn't have the mirror support. But as far as I know, I think you can actually run it in Xmirror and Libertrain. But there's no plan. There's no official plans from the UBPorts team to support it.
And the work that has been done on it is by Tron42, I think.
Yeah.
But he ran into issues at some point with LiberaPay, which didn't work on.
And there goes Telegram.
Oh no! What have we done? I fully blame you, Chloe. I know you're listening. Okay. Then we can take your important questions.
My important questions. They aren't that. Nothing is as important as mind test.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so we got a question. What are the results of the device upvoting survey? So that one we've actually had running since we stopped using the devices pages full time. And it was running on the devices page as well. And how it worked was you donated money, and the device page counted up every time someone donated. This was before Canonical dropped Ubuntu Touch.
Yep.
And then once it got to the cost of one device, Marius would buy it and maybe work on it someday.
Yep. Yeah, this was before UBPorts was on OS. It was all about
Porting Ubuntu
Porting.
Touch.
porting.
The
But
good old
now-
days.
The old day, I feel old. No, but I think also what we mean, we also have a survey running right now on.
Yes,
that's
we have a
running
survey
on-
running right now. I'm looking at it here. I mean, there's some almost
and
50%.
The clear winner.
The clear winner is
The clear
other
winner.
device not listed.
Yeah, and for the other devices, the clear winner is OnePlus 5 actually. I ran through it, downloaded it.
I think you need to change your number. It's 1+3.
Oh no, not 5. 3. It's OnePlus 3 plus T. I merged T and 3 together because they are fairly similar. But OnePlus 3 is definitely higher, and then OnePlus 5 is actually right behind. But OnePlus 3.
Actually, the Galaxy S3 is higher than that. I'm looking at the results here.
Oh, then it has changed because I looked at it last week, I think, something like that. I run it down and took it to an Excel document and actually checked through it.
Mhm. Right.
But
So there are a ton of answers here. Thank you to everyone who has answered. Some highlights. Oop. There goes the clock.
The additional question was just from Ivan. Well, where are the OP3 images? What was it? A few minutes before.
Before they asked
ready-to-use
about the device
system
survey.
images for HTC 10 and OP3 are already ready to be uploaded by Marius. I don't know. Are they ready?
Do they work any better than this thing does? I mean,
Yes.
look at this. So
Yeah.
browser, not
I'm
browser.
used.
Gallery, not gallery.
Well, to no, they are not out. They are not anywhere near ready to daily use at all. But the plan was to have the community channels, but the community channels is still also on my backlog as many of things. I'm sorry, Bushan. I know you are waiting for me. But I do have a lot of on my backlog. So yes, that is coming, and that's just my plan.
How to put Marius on
I
the spot 101.
I have a million things to do at the same time, so excuse me if I'm slow.
Okay.
No.
Are there any more questions that you see?
Maybe mention a couple more devices.
A couple more devices? Sure. Did I just close it? No, it's in Firefox. The VQ Aquarius E4.5 is the highest of the devices we're already supporting. Enough. Nexus 4, Nexus 5X. Other high ones include the OnePlus 3, the Galaxy S3. This isn't in any particular order.
Maybe just the Galaxy S3, one thing, unless it gets a kernel upgrade, we cannot support it because it's 3.0.
Right.
And it's a pity, but it's a nice telephone. I have one here. Actually, I tried to start working on it, not knowing that the kernel will be such a hard blocker, but we should be clear with the community that we cannot work on devices that have so much work to do that we need a whole kernel to be ported. At least not at the moment.
Right.
Yeah, and I also think we also should focus on more newer devices, because one of our big areas is Converge, and to make Converge work really well, we
It needs
need
to be faster.
we need power.
It gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast.
There are a few mentions of some of the devices that we've been working on. The Moto G5 is in there a couple of places. But as you can see, this one works about as well as you'd expect. Browser, not browser, things like that.
Well, have you updated Oxity, by the way? Because there is a new fix there.
If I try to do a dist upgrade, the entire thing breaks.
Oh, you haven't pinned the UBPorts repository, by the way.
That's right, I forgot that. Ah. Everything seg faults.
Everything segfaults. And
Okay.
also Wayne, you are completely right. Mars never is wrong and never sleeps. You're completely right. Thank you, Wayne, for actually embracing the truth here. I should run now before.
Good thing
Dalton
you're in
comes out
Norway
of
and none
me.
of us can reach you.
There's one more question that I got during the last 2 weeks. I don't know when. If it would be nicer, or no, not nicer, but some people would like to have mailing lists. So I know we prepared already something,
We
and on
have
the
a mailing list.
homepage, yes, on the
Yep.
homepage there are also subscribe buttons for the mailing lists. I'm not sure if these are the same mailing lists that I'm talking about.
Not that kind of mailing list.
Okay.
We
So-
do have lists.ubports.com.
List.
Yes.
List.ubports.com. Singular.
Maybe we
I
should,
should-
point this out a little bit better because people
I will
would
refer
love
that
to
in the show
have-
notes.
Where will the folks Swift?
We will try to communicate about the mailing lists in one of the following, let's say, information feeds to the supergroup and so. But this is definitely something the community wants.
I don't know where Vilifox Swift is. I don't know.
On the survey.
No. See Supergroup.
What is that?
Where Wiley Fox Swift? Not on the list.
What is that?
It's a
It's a phone.
phone.
Oh,
It came up this week, I think.
Mhm.
Hello, John Bodek, by the way. And please be patient about new phones. We are already struggling with the existing ones quite a lot.
Yep. And the reason for me doing this is to document the process so that other people can do it better. Not so that I don't know if I even want this to be like released. I mean, the code's all on GitHub, but it's terrible.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine.
It's
It's-
fine. Browser doesn't work. It's fine.
Well, the browser is not your fault though. It's not because of your port. It's because of you haven't updated it. So
how about this? Buttons don't work.
that's
So,
that's a you
that's my
problem.
fault. That's
Yeah.
exactly. It's just so that you don't get all the gotchas like you need to pin the UBPorts repository that I messed up and didn't do. Things like
Yeah, but this is also to be expected with a port. A port
Mhm.
is it's super hard. So you need to be if we post community channels, you also need to be patient with the developers that works on it because it is extremely hard, and most of them are doing it in free time. So keep in mind that if we post community channels, there will be a lot of unfinished and half broken things in there and things not working because that's just how it is to do porting. It is super hard. Yes, to end it with that.
Okay.
So actually,
Does it,
we all should actually congratulate Dalton to do such amazing work to come to this stage.
yay.
Yay!
Everything seg faults.
Yeah, but segfault is better than no segfaults.
What?
If you don't get segfault, you haven't made progress. That's my saying. That's how I tell myself that I have done good work.
Okay, that needs to be an inspirational quote that we put on the bottom of ubports.com.
Okay, let's do that.
If you don't get seg faults, you haven't done any work. Mario Scripts Guard 2017. And with that, are there any other questions that you guys see?
Any mother question? No, there's not.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm ending this. Thank you everyone for coming out and watching us today. You are a captive audience. I mean, clicking on a YouTube link. This has been UBPorts Community Update number 17.
And also remember, we are on G+, Twitter, Mastodon, Matrix, Telegram,
IRC.
IRC, and please reach us there if you have any question whatsoever. And for next Q&A, please leave your questions in our forum post that we will post later. Coming Q&A.
I'm going to say I'm going to get it on Monday.
On Monday.
I will get it next Monday,
Okay.
meaning the 4th. No,
Before now to Monday.
Calendar.
Now on Monday, it's 27. It's now
Yes,
Monday.
the 4th, a week before we go live.
Oh, okay. Okay, the 4th.
Maybe we shouldn't announce these live.
Yeah.
Well, now the pressure is on you, so.
Mhm.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you all again for coming out, and you all have a great fortnight. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Please like, subscribe, press the like button.